Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 1. And what was an incredibly exciting game at Anfield. Sure, Klopp and Liverpool have been on a dismal run in the Premier League and at Anfield, but they showed that they could threaten Chelsea here, and Chelsea had to be superb defensively in the midfield and be good in attack. We were okay in attack, but the point was, Chelsea played really friggin' well. Ding, 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 ding. This is your match review, boys and girls. A Mason Mount world-class goal that sees us over the line. More woes for Liverpool, my heart bleeds for them, but Tommy Tuchel's Chelsea look like a functional, concise, good team with problems and issues, but when everyone works that hard, we look like an incredibly difficult team to beat. Thomas Tuchel said, I'm gonna make a team, or we're gonna build a team that no one wants to play against. He's already kind of done that. Anyway, get comfortable, subscribe if you're new, drop a like on this video if you're feeling good, my friends, as we get into the match review. Right, so at Anfield, just before kickoff, or it was rumoured, but when we got the lineups, it turns out that Fabinho, Alisson are back, Jota's back, so I was like, great. They're due a win. Chelsea are usually Chelsea FC, and they've got all, like, well, most of their good players back. Ain't no thing, though. No problem for the Blues. Let's take a look at this who scored graphic and see how Chelsea lined up in this game. A 3-4-1-2. Edouard Mendy in goal with the familiar front three on front of him. Christensen, who won man of the match on Sky. He played well. A spoiler for player performances ever so shortly. Flanked, of course, by Azpilicueta and Rudiger. Chilwell keeps his place at left wing back. Reece James at right wing back. Interestingly, Kante and Jorginho in the midfield with Money Mason Mount in the false 9/number 10 behind Werner and Ziyech. A couple of things about this lineup that had people raising eyebrows was firstly that the midfield engine room combination of Kante and Jorginho has never really worked before. It's always like left lacking. We all know there's superb chemistry between Kovacic and Jorginho, but they played well today and it worked today. Chilwell keeping his place at left wing back's good. Mohamed Salah was probably the thinking behind that. And similarly, Reece James, a more defensive option in the wing-back position to deal with the pace from the counter-press and transition from Liverpool. A very, very interesting point was Hakim Ziyech keeping his place up front, and to be honest, another spoiler in terms of player performances, his left boot is slowly coming back to the party and it could work. Sub-appearances for Christian Pulisic, who came on around the hour mark for Hakim Ziyech. Kovacic came on for Mason Mount as a more defensive substitution when we went ahead, and Kai Havertz came on at the end, but I actually think that was for a bit of height to try and defend that last corner and waste a little bit of time. So, this was a very difficult game to win, like I said. Certainly in the first half, Chelsea were better offensive. I mean, there was moments that Liverpool had throughout this game where they threatened Chelsea, but we had some sublime moves from back to front in transition, passing combinations around the back, and then just incisively dismantling Liverpool up the pitch and then creating a chance. Although, yeah, I need to talk about it now. Timo Werner missed a chance. He created a decent chance for himself that wasn't that easy to finish. And then a very good goal, in my eyes, was ruled off for VAR. What I don't understand about this VAR call is his, like, elbows offside. Whatever's offside is a part of his body that he can't score with. And I thought the rule is, if you can score with that part of your body, it's offside. And Ashley Cole said on the analysis or punditry, he says, look, people, when you're a striker, you point your arm out showing you where you want it, and you know the defender leans in, you're going to have like a hand and an arm. Anyway, whatever, I'm not going to talk about the VAR call for too long, but it was thoroughly frustrating and really frustrating for Timo, who I think ultimately had a good game and deserved a goal. But it took a moment of beauty from Mason Mount. Now, I think it was N'Golo Kante who played an absolute beautiful cross-field pass, because I was like, jeez, Kante! Anyway, falls to Mason Mount, he comes inside, he curls it into the corner of the goal. It's a world-class goal. Like, it's a superb goal from what is primarily like a functional player in Mason Mount, good at pressing, can put a tackle in, very intelligent, you know, good at creating chances. but he just bangs out goals like that. We know he's got a superb free kick in him. I've got no problem with Christensen being named man of the match, but Jamie Carragher did say it was a toss-up between him and Mount. Anyway, the second half, Chelsea have to dig in. We have to flex our defensive muscles, which we do. Liverpool do come. Mane, obviously, I should mention as well, should have scored in the first half of a chance. And, you know, Salah was poor in this game. He got hooked for Jota. But, you know, Jota came on, looked deadly. They did create a chance. We had to suffer, as all the coaches say these days, for a large period of the game. And certainly in the closing stages of the game, it was pretty terrifying. But we did it. All 3 points at Anfield. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Let's roll on and talk about player performances. Edu Mendy, man, I don't care if we don't get Donnarumma because he's impressing me more and more. Little moments he gives me a heart attack on the ball, but he passes out appropriately. He always comes out and claims confidently, and I mentioned like a few games ago he didn't exude confidence, but that was slowly developing, and where he is now, he looks full of confidence. So a superb game from Mendy. Now, all 3 centre-halves were pretty good. Rudiger did a few like no-nonsense defending moments, gave me a little bit of a heart attack, but he gave his heart into this game, and as a football fan of your team, that's what you want a player to be doing. Similarly with Azpilicueta, and Christensen was magnificent, still a little bit lightweight in moments in terms of him going down and getting bodied, but in terms of his intelligence, he's developing into such a good centre-half. Maybe we don't need to find a Thiago Silva replacement, maybe we've got one in the renaissance of Andreas Christensen. Kante magnificent in the midfield, superb this game, passing much better, defensive actions, you know, world class as per the norm with the World Cup winning Frenchman, superb. Jorginho pretty good as well, he managed to con the ref once and buy a free kick in an important moment. But, you know, he was good. To be honest, no one played bad. Spoiler. Mason Mount, you know, joint man of the match for me with Christensen. Superb. Worldy goal. Great performance. Good attitude. And to be honest, man, like, Werner played so well. Like I said, he should have had a goal. He pressed well. Good combinations. He's just a little bit unlucky, and there's probably still that bit of that, like, residual psychological problem. But I think he played well. And although Ziyech, someone could argue maybe he's played the worst out of that starting 11, I don't think he played badly. I think he had great moments and did a few great passes with his left foot and wants to play in that quick, you know, incisive through ball, and that's what we want from Hakim Ziyech. So, you know, he's playing better and better and better, even if he wasn't the best performer, even if he was the worst performer out of the 11. Pulisic looked pokey when he came on. I think he looked, you know, great, high press, sort of worked the defenders, which we needed at that point. Similarly with Kovacic, nearly got into a fight with Mane, that was pretty funny. Although he did kick the ball into his face. And then Havertz didn't really do anything. That's player performances, let's talk about this game a little bit more. So here we go, we move with 4 points off the likes of Manchester United, who play in the Manchester Derby on the weekend, and then, you know, we play Everton. We could claw back in. I said it before, we could get second place. We could still definitely get second place in the Premier League. Mental, absolutely mental. Again, I don't want to devalue this win by saying, oh, Liverpool have been in a really poor run of form, because they have been, but they had important players back, and they didn't play awfully, and, you know, they were due a win at Anfield. I think this is their worst ever run at Anfield in their history. You might have to check that one. But an absolutely huge win for Chelsea, and it was an exciting 1-0. You know, it was terrifying. It was Heart Attack FC at the end again. But it was, you know, it was an exciting game. These 1-0s don't have to be boring, or, you know, often 0-0s can be a little bit boring. But, you know, I was a bit frustrated of us only scoring 1 goal a game. But you know what? If we win 1-0 at Anfield, I can totally take it. And it's like that worldie from Mount or an Olivier Giroud bicycle kick. And these are kind of goals we have to score to go 1-0 up under Tuchel. Anyway, superb. So I'm really happy. Let me know your thoughts on the game, who you thought played well, who you thought didn't play well. I'll be down looking at your comments. Make sure you drop a like if you've enjoyed this content of mine. I did a Chelsea news video this morning talking about Donnarumma, Haaland, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's looking really, pretty good again. So make sure you do check out this morning's Chelsea news video. Anyway, I'm out, friends. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.